Yes, hello people. So we have completed our syllabus. So few examination related things and few general things I would like to discuss with you. Okay. All right. So let's get started. Sir, one. So some of the students ask us, sir, one of the common things we get is, sir, how to study, sir? Okay. How to study, sir? This is one big one mystery in our life, no? What to study, how to study, and all that. So some tips related to how to study. The first thing whenever you are studying is you should have a timetable, sir. Prepare one timetable. Whatever works out for you. It depends on the timelines that you have. Let's say you have about 6 months for examination to go. So you can prepare a timetable accordingly. Or if you have only 3 months, whatever, based on the time available to you, make one timetable. Okay. So wherein you will decode. In this timetable, you will say, like, let's say you have around, let's say 3 months for your examination to go. Now in that 3 months, we have to, let's say, study 6 papers, whether it's CA intermediate, CA final or whatever. We have 6 papers to cover. That means you have to allocate the times for it. So if you do the math, right, roughly, let's say you are allocating about 10 days to each paper. 10 days to each paper. That means roughly around 2 months goes off in your preparing, studying, not revision. Okay, first time studying. Once you have already studied ideally, but I'm saying here. So it takes about, let's say if you allocated 10 days for 6 papers, so that 2 months has gone towards that. That means another 20 days or 25 days you'll use for revision. Like you could have like 3 days revision per subject or 4 days revision per subject, 4 to 5 days, whatever. Basically, I used to have 3 setups. Like if I'm taking 10 days to do initial study, first time if I'm taking 10 days, my next revision used to be half of that. Like 5 days I used to allocate for revision. So this is my revision 1. That's how I study. Okay. And my revision number 2 was roughly 2 days or 1.5 days. Because you're on the examination day, you roughly get 1.5 days to prepare for each paper, right? So what to study in that 1.5 days is important. So I didn't want to keep that as a mystery. So I wanted to run through once in that 2 days, what and all I can cover, how much I can cover. So I wanted to have an experience of that. So my second revision was ideally for 1.5 days to 2 days. This is how I used to split it up. Okay. So making this is very important. So I can't make a timetable for you because that depends on how early you are starting the class. Because timetable could change. If you're making a plan for 5-month studies, then instead of devoting 10 days, you can devote 20 days, right? And I'm not going to comment on how many hours you need to study. So that depends from student to student. Yeah. Okay. Generally, they say in the last 3 months, ideally at least 10 to 12 hours of studies is required to cover up the syllabus. So but again, that also depends on individual student. Some students are extremely smart. They can pick up the things way too soon. So for them, maybe that much hour may not be required. Or some students may be a little slow, not dumb, a little slow, because everyone has their own way of time of picking things. So somebody who picks up the things faster and somebody versus some who is not great, he's not Brihaspati. At the same time, somebody who's taking a little extra time, he's not the dumb. Everybody has their own pace of learning, has their own methodology of learning, and we should respect that. Okay. So according to that, devise one timetable. This is very important. Okay, making one. Okay, this one and stick to it. Many people we have seen, they'll make one nice timetable. They'll build one, they take one A4 or A3 size, not even A4, A3, A2 size paper, they get it, make one nice table, plug it on the room walls, they'll stick it and daily they'll watch. Watching is not important, people. Executing is important. So whatever timetable you have made, execute it. Okay, like if you made some plan, like if you've made a plan that FR subject I will finish within 10 days. By hook or crook, you have to make sure that it is completed. So just making a plan will not suffice. You have to execute it. You should have, the way I used to do was I used to have a daily target. Okay, like here overall target, I know within 10 days I need to finish one subject. That's my overall target, right? Not only that, I used to have a daily target. Okay, like this. If I have, like, let's say about 20 topics to be completed. Let's say we have more topics in FR. Ignore that for the time being. Let's say we have 20 topics to be completed within 10 days. That means what? Daily I have to complete 2 topics. So like that, you need to drill it down. Okay. And you can also have a split session. Okay. Each topic, how much time I will take. Okay. Like that, like you could say like I'll spend about 5 hours for this topic, 4 hours for that topic, or 8 hours for one topic, 4 hours for another topic. You should have that while drilling. Okay. I mean, that minuteness has to come. Then only you'll be able to measure, are you executing those line of work. Okay. Same thing you can keep it for theory also. The way I used to keep for theory was I used to keep it in a page wise. Like I used to say around, let's say 4 pages I need to study within 1 hour. If I'm studying law or if I'm studying auditing or something for that matter, I used to keep the targets in pages, right? I'll have a notebook or whatever. If my my notes are of 300 pages or 400 pages or whatever, I used to set the target. Hourly, how many pages will I study? Okay, so like this, it is very important to measure this, have a smaller milestone, because when you have a bigger milestone, it could be a little overwhelming because you're already constantly think about 6 subjects, this much, that could bring you down a little bit. Have a smaller target. It's good to have the main target, but that main target has to be further split between smaller ones, so that you have that, you'll get the confidence. Say suppose I studied 4 pages in 1 hour, so I'll feel good about myself. That means the target is getting satisfied. If I'm not able to fulfill, that gives me a corrective measure. I can take the corrective steps now itself. That means I get to know that whatever timetable I've made, no, is not suiting the purpose. Maybe I have to increase my study time. I have to, or if I feel things are going smooth, then I can reward myself, right? I can do whatever. Like, so these sort of correctional measures, no, it gives you an opportunity to do. So that's one thing you need to keep that in mind. Okay. Another probably the tip is study in one place. This is more psychological. Many people, no, study in their bed and all. They'll sit on the cot and try to do it. Sir, bed is a place meant to sleep. Your mind is trained. If you just check, right, the moment you go and sit on your bed, you start feeling yawny and all that. Yes, you start to yawn because your mind, your body knows that that is a place where to take rest. In the same place, if you're planning to study, your mind will automatically not support you. So start, first of all, subject will be dry. Okay, studies is not something our favorite activity. Okay. So, because our mind knows that this is a boring activity. No matter how much you try to convince you, on the top of your mind, you know that this is not that great an activity or enthusiastic activity. Okay. Then if you're doing in these places where you sleep, no, you find it more difficult. So these are some of the things you can keep in mind as to sort out how to study and all this stuff. Okay. So make this is very, very important. Don't do this at the last moment. The more earlier you plan for all this, the CA journey or the examination journey will get a lot easier for you. Okay. So just don't say that these are timetable only relevant for, when there is last 3 months. Not like that. The earlier you plan, if you are basically looking for a rank and all, the early you plan this and early you execute this, that too on a daily basis, the chances of you scoring good marks in examination, probably potentially scoring a rank, that potential significantly increases. These are very, very important. That's one thing you could say. Next question will be, sir, how many subjects or how I should study? You can take here only. Like, personally, I followed one subject at a time wala strategy. Meaning, I used to take one subject like FR. If I took FR, I finished FR fully, then went to the next topic. Could be tax, could be auditing, whatever. That's the way I studied. But no, that approach may not work for many of them, because many of them find that difficult. Because they may be okay with studying a practical subject, maybe doing accounts or taxation, costing, they may be comfortable. All right. They may be able to sit for 10 to 12 hours and finish it off. But to study 10 to 12 hours a theory topic, okay, law, or for that matter auditing, or subjects like this could be, or indirect tax, could be a little difficult, Herculean task. Yes or no? So what you can probably do is you can keep one theory subject and one practical. Okay, you'll study maybe first half of the day you can do a theory topic, because normally after lunch we tend to doze off. Okay, so first half of the day where we are feeling more energetic, more enthusiastic, you can do a theory topic. Okay, study for the 5 to 6 hours or whatever, and after post lunch you can probably keep it as a practical topic you can take, because when you're occupied with numbers, when you're solving, right, even though you're feeling, your mind doesn't put you to sleep, automatically your engagement is happening, so you tend to do this. So you can keep this post lunch, you can keep these sort of topic. Okay, that's one approach. You can keep it as well. All right, this is one I could think of. Another thing is how many hours to study. So how many hours to study? As I told you, it depends totally on the students. There is no magic number here. Okay, some of them study for 12 to 13 hours, still they don't end up clearing. Some of them study only for 6 to 8 hours, they end up clearing. So it depends on how early you are starting and what is your grasp over the subject. And as in when the class was happening, were you doing a daily revision? Like here, our class was happening from the day when I was telling you, don't push anything. Whatever you're doing, at least revise. Half an hour, 45 minutes is what I expected from you. If you are able to do that, you will remember the provisions for a longer duration. If you have not done that, then you require a little extra preparation, because many things you would have forgotten. It's human tendency to forget things, right? So yes, that way you can take a call based on that. Okay. So this is about how to study. Next is about your mock papers, people. So do not ignore mock papers. The intention of writing mock papers is not to test how many marks you're scoring, because same questions will not come, right? So your mock papers is one which will help you gain your confidence. Sir, exam is a freakish atmosphere. Have you seen many people? They go to the atmosphere, suddenly they feel a little nervous. You see many people a little shaky. On your face, literally you can make out that they are tensed. because that's an alien atmosphere, because too much of things will come into picture. What question will come? Do I know it? Will I remember it? Will I pass or put in so much of efforts? If I fail means it will be too much embarrassing. Too many unwanted thoughts. Suddenly in one rush you'll get all those thoughts together, and it could be overwhelming, and it could bring many students down. That could cause over nervousness. We have seen many students telling, sir, I knew this answer, I've practiced this question, but still when I went to the examination I forgot about it. Because that exam atmosphere is like that, because you are not used to it. So the one way to sort out that alien atmosphere is to write some mock papers, and ideally write these mock papers not in your place. Wherever you want, go. Don't write these papers in your place. If you have any library, go there and write. Okay, if you want to come down to our academy and write, no problem. Some unknown location you go. The reason is ideally I say you should get accustomed to that different atmosphere, because exam is a different atmosphere we have not known. So go and sit in a place where nobody disturbs you for 3 hours and write and come. Okay, so that way what happens next time when you actually go to the examination hall, you already have a little experience. So if 2 or 3 mock papers if you've already written, then you know that it'll calm your nerves a little bit. And unnecessary tension or remembering known things and all will slowly come down, because after all it's a practice, people. The more and more things you practice, the more and more easiness you will feel. So this is one way to sort out that. Don't worry about the things you're scoring in mock papers, because same question will not come. Okay, same question comes means almost everybody passes. No? So the intention is not about marks. The intention is about time. The mock paper is one to ease, okay, to bring some easiness into you. Another one is also to keep a track of time. At CA final, I don't have to tell you this, right? You know the importance of time. Many papers, at least 1 or 2 papers in your curriculum will be on the lengthier side, especially in examination. It could be whatever, we don't know. It keeps varying attempt to attempt. So many students or majority of them find it difficult to complete the paper on time. They know things, but still they end up having not much time to complete the paper, because the time is a culprit. So keep a track of time. So how to do it? I personally kept this as a funda. So if you do the math, sir, it's a 3-hour examination. 3-hour examination is 180 minutes. So 100 marks you have to attempt in 180 minutes means roughly it gives you 1.8 minutes for 1 mark. 1 mark question. If you get anything, you have to complete it within 1.8 minutes. Normally you get a 20 marker question. So that means 20 into 1.8 if you do, it is 36 minutes. That's what normally I keep saying. Okay, 120 mark question, you should not spend more than 35 to 40 minutes. Exactly, don't worry about 36 minutes. Keep a range. 35 to 40 minutes. Within that range, I should have completed 120 marker question. So if you're taking beyond that, leave some space and move on to the next question. Irrespective of where you are, doesn't matter. Because if you're taking more than that, okay, then that means that you are approaching that little bit of a deadly zone of not completing the paper. Okay, so leave some space. It's all right. You can always come back. If you finish everything on time, you can come back to this question and attempt it further. Okay, you can leave 2-3 pages or whatever, depending on how much you have solved. So don't waste your time on the same question, because many students find it difficult. Because if they don't know the question, it is easy for them to move on. Anyway, I don't know this question, I'll move on to the next one. But if they know that question, okay, to the fact that they know it, but still, if they're not able to complete it, stopping that question then and there itself and moving on to the next question is the biggest challenge. You need to be mentally a little strong there, yes? Because your mind will keep saying, I know this, I'll finish off another 2 minutes, I'll finish off. Like this, you will constantly get signals, but you have to ignore that and still go on. Okay, because otherwise, see, people, it's good that if you want to score, if you getting 20 on 20 in one question is good, but at the same time, attempting full paper is more equally important, because that will ultimately lead you to get higher marks. So keep always the bigger goal into picture. Don't be brought down by smaller things. Some people will get things, if they're not able to attempt one paper, suddenly they'll fall down. They'll be like, oh, and all that, full negative they'll become. Don't worry about all that stuff. See, ultimately you want to see what 40 in your scorecard. Okay, one question will not get you 40. You have to answer a series of questions. Then only you will get that 40, 50 or 60, yes? So keep a bigger, always remind yourself of a bigger goal. It's all right. Okay, 1 or 2 wrong things if you do it. You're human beings. We are meant to make errors. It's all right. So don't be bogged down by it. It's fine. And leave away with that habit. After writing one paper, they will do that post-mortem of that. They'll get the question back paper and they'll calculate how much will I get for this half a mark, for this 1 mark I will get. You do that post-mortem after the examination. Once a paper is done, that paper is dead to you. Okay, for the next, till your full group is completed, whatever, if you're writing for 3 papers or 6 papers or whatever, till all the examination is over, do not check that paper again. Like if FRX exam is over, if accounts examination is over, don't touch that paper after examination. Put it somewhere in your wardrobe. After all the examination is over, do 101 times post-mortem, no problem. Okay, because we have seen this, many people do this post-mortem exercise. They do their self-evaluation. According to their evaluation, they feel that they got 30. Then they'll say, what's the point? I will not pass. I will not write next examination. We have seen many students missing next examination because they didn't do the previous one well. Sir, valuation is not your job. There is a team to do it, and they have a way to do it. You don't know that way. Okay, you don't know their mindset. You don't know, first of all, whatever you have written, because many people commit silly mistakes also. Okay, so your valuation could be on the higher side or it could be on the lower side. We have seen many people who say that I'll get 25-30. Even in fact, you would have also personally experienced this, where you think I'll get 25-30, but you will end up getting 40, 45, 50 also. Someone will say I've done extremely well, I'll get 70 and all. They're getting 25-30 also, we have seen. So valuations could go horribly wrong. So that is not your exercise. Ideally, you should not be doing it. Even if you want to do it psychologically for your satisfaction, do it. But after all the examination, not immediately after that examination. Please let go of that habit if you have it. That can bring you psychologically, it can put you down in a big way. So stop that habit if you're having that. So that is one, you can keep it in mind. All right. Another one is, sir, take care of your mental health, sir. Health condition, basically. Mental, physical, whatever. See, when we are taking study leaves, with this also commonly we see. Normally we get a break for around 3 to 4 months. Okay. And that 3 to 4 months, we don't have much to do. Right? So normally when you don't have much to do, I don't know whether you've observed this or not. Okay. If you're sitting in your room and if you don't have much activity, right, you tend to eat a lot. I don't know whether you've observed or not. Right? If you don't have any activity, say suppose you are occupied with work, suppose you're doing one interesting assignment, some audit, or you're watching one movie, assume. Okay. It's time. Let's say you started watching a movie at, let's say 11:30. Normally, let's say 1 o'clock is your eating time. You started watching a movie at 11:30. Movie, it's ending at 2:30. Till 2:30, you never realize that you were hungry. Correct? Now that hunger you have totally forgotten because you're so involved. Correct? But at the same time, if you're not doing anything, suppose at 11 o'clock you're fully chilling out, nothing to be done. Automatically your tummy will start sending signal that uta, sapadu, and all. Yes, at 12:30 itself, that signal will come. So you tend to eat a lot more when you're not occupied with much activity. And studies is something which you want to break away from. Yes. So that's the reason, keep mindful of this. Because if you're eating too much activity, have you observed? Whenever you have a strong meal, whenever you eat a buffet meal or one strong non-vegetarian meal or something, immediately after a meal, no, you start to feel drowsy. You start feeling sleepy. Because that's a system way of saying. You have now put in a lot of food in the tummy. So that means you're giving a lot of work, a digestive activity should happen. So all other process system will automatically shut down and it starts concentrating on digestion. So that in that case, you'll not be able to concentrate. So be mindful of what you're eating also, because that's one way it'll keep you awake, because you want to study for 10 hours, 12 hours, but you go on hogging every 2 hours. If you're hogging, then your system will concentrate more towards the digestion and it will not give you that concentration power to study. Okay, be mindful of that. I'm not saying don't eat. Yes, eat it maybe a little 5-10% extra, whatever you're eating. Okay, but don't ideally avoid the junk food, people, because the last thing you want is to get sick on the examination day. This also we have seen so many students. Sir, I knew everything, sir. On the examination day, I felt sick, sir. I couldn't write the examination, sir. That is the worst feeling ever. Please do not land up with those things. Ideally, cut down the junk food at least 1 month before the examination, or 2 weeks before. If 1 month is not impossible for you, at least 2 weeks before the examination, cut out that junk food. Reduce as much as oil as possible so that you feel good. You don't want to end up with cold or fever or cough and all on the exam, closer to the examination, because that will spoil your mood, your preparation, and almost everything. So we don't want to end up in that. Okay. So be mindful of that. So that comes the eating part of it. Even equally, mental health is important. Okay. So I see many of the students telling, "Sir, I'm only studying. I don't have any other time." That means they're doing nothing. Stop giving that excuses, right? Half an hour, 1 hour, everybody can make out time. In fact, if you talk about it in the last 3-4 months, even I'm also putting almost 12 to 13 hours. I think I've mentioned this to you, right? The preparation, class notes, the chart books, existing students' doubt support, and classes, all this put together. I'm not talking about the total hours. I'm taking total effective hours. Without break, my time was to come for 12 hours, right? I go daily for either badminton or swimming. One of the activities I do it. If I want, I could have also told this excuse. Oh, final is coming up, so there's too many things to do because syllabus change happened. I had to redraft my notes and all that stuff. So actually, preparation and taking classes is easy for me. Making that chart book, making that notes is a nightmare. Okay, that only takes a lot of time. If I want, I could have also given excuses to myself, saying, "Hey, it's okay. 3 months we'll ignore. After that we'll do." But I never gave that excuse, because one day if you let that lethargy or laziness come, that will continue. So I made sure that I made a proper timetable. This time I will wake up. This time I will start the class. This time I will end my preparation, notes, kits and all. I will end up. By 4:35 in the evening, I used to wind up everything, and then after 5:30, I used to go for swimming, badminton, whatever. Last 2 weeks, I avoided swimming because it was raining. Yes, so I didn't want to catch up with cold and cancel off the classes, so I avoided it. Yes, but otherwise, what the point I'm trying to make is, if you can plan it out, it is possible. Okay, so it's not a big deal. So at least not much. Okay, you may not have much time to do 2 hours activity or something. At least half an hour. It's not necessary. I'm not suggesting you should go for swimming or badminton. Just walk. If there is a house near your park, walk around half an hour. That is good enough, right? Or if you enjoy playing a particular sport, TT, snooker, whatever, do that, right? So that will bring you a little more relaxation. So that mental health is important, okay? So just go and be in the natural atmosphere as much as possible. So when you're taking a break, I see many of the students, when they take break from studies, all the time on the phone. Instagramo, that gramo, this gramo, horse gramo, what gramo. Yes, sir, I'm not saying that social media is wrong. Right? But when you take yourself a break, you want to just move away and be in the natural ambience. Okay, as much as you connect with the nature, your freshness will come into your body and it will kind of revitalize your energies. Okay, the same if you're occupied with phones and all, no, it'll not happen. Trust me on this. Okay, so the more and more software, the phones that you use, it'll dim your energies down. Okay, try to go do whatever activity. I'm not saying any specific activity you want. I mean, whatever you like, do it. It's not that you have to do whatever I'm doing over here. Okay. Whatever you're comfortable, do it. All that will kind of improve your mental health and it will help you to study longer. Okay, those will definitely help you. Take it from me. Try it out if you want. You don't have to take my word for it. Try it out yourself. Okay, then see the difference for yourself. I've seen the difference in my life. So that's the reason I'm suggesting you. If you feel give it a shot. If it works for you, you can continue. Otherwise, you can give galis to me and saying that bugger told something and all and he left. Okay, you can give galis to me. No problem. I'll take it. Yeah. Okay, you can do that. That's one thing you can keep in mind. And also, sir, equally reward yourself also. Do not forget that. Sir, what do we mean by that? Okay, yeah, give 1 crore, write 1 crore check to yourself. Yeah, is that what I meant by reward? No, I mean by smaller rewards. Sir. Like you have a daily targets. Suppose you thought a particular activity takes about 8 hours. Okay, or let's say you had made a 10 hours study plan. You thought you'll complete a topic in 10 hours. But look at the stupendous amazingness, brilliantness of you. You completed within 6 hours only. 10 hours is estimated, 6 hours only you completed. Reward yourself, meaning you have 4 hours. Go out and do whatever you felt like doing. If you feel that Instagram is your thing, be on Instagram. If you want to catch up with your friend, if you want to go for shopping, play any sport, whatever, reward yourself frequently like this. At the same time, other thing is also important. You thought you will finish this assignment within 8 hours. If it didn't complete, if you are not able to complete it, doesn't matter how many hours it takes. Whether it takes 10 hours or whether it takes 12 hours, doesn't matter. You will sit and finish it. Daily target, no way you're going to miss it out. That way. So you will either reward yourself or you will punish yourself. So call it whatever you want. Okay. But make sure that particular things or target is set. This way what happens when you're measuring on a daily basis, you'll feel good about it because there will be some days where you may require to stretch. There will be few days where you will get a lot of time also. So that way your life will not be one-centric all activity. Many students say I'm doing nothing other than studies. So this way if you plan it out, you can do other things also along with studies and not just studies. Okay. So that is one you can keep in mind. Another one, if you're talking about it, sir, how to stay motivated. Sir. There's one problem for us. Initially, now you're talking, maybe we'll get the Josh for 5 minutes, sir, 10 minutes, sir, or 1 day, 1 week we'll be motivated, sir. After that, what to do, sir? Sir, personally, if you ask me, okay, I don't believe in looking at external source of motivation. I always believed that, I still believe that, in fact, self-motivation is the best thing. Okay, motivate yourself. Sir, your problems, you created one problem, means you should be the solution for it. Okay. The more and more external help you try to seek, you'll always be dependent on others. I'm not saying being dependent on others, taking others' help is wrong, but for every small thing or for every damn thing, if you're dependent on somebody else, right, you start accepting the responsibility. And naturally, sir, like let's say you're dependent on your friend for everything. Okay, you had 10 problems. Okay, maybe 8 times he'll help you. On the 9th time, even he may be busy with something or he or she may be busy. That time he or she may say, I'm busy, macha, you take care of it. That time you'll feel very bad. Hey, what is not helping only? What sort of friend is all this? Okay, those sort of negative things will come. It's okay to seek help, but try to seek help from yourself first. The moment you get a problem, don't approach somebody else. Okay, hey, this happened, what happened? First, analyze what is it that you can do. Because ultimately, sir, you have to solve your own problems. Okay. If you put the onus on yourself, right, then you'll stop blaming the others. We see 101 people saying, in life, that is wrong, this is wrong. They only keep blaming. If you just check somebody who's like constantly blaming, they're not blaming themselves. They're either blaming other people, society, articles, my boss is bad, my colleagues are bad, my internet connection is bad, my this is bad, that is bad. But they never say once that I did something wrong. Sir, majorly the problem will be with you. Your attitude, your perception will be wrong. That people are not willing to correct. They only look to put excuses to blame on others. If you're constantly doing that, you'll not find solution to this. So first, self-motivate yourself. Find out the reason why you took up CA. You have taken one of the most challenging courses, sir. They're most reputed courses. So analyze the reason why you took it. Maybe you felt that it is challenging enough, so you took it. Or you wanted to make your parents proud because your parents struggled a lot to bring you up. So you thought that you'll make them really proud by acquiring that magical alphabets called CA. So you took it. Doesn't matter. Or you want to give contribution to the society, or you want to make a lot of money. You want to buy an expensive car, expensive house, foreign tours. The reason could be anything. Doesn't matter. Whatever is the reason for you to taking that course, right? If you don't have reason, find one reason. Yes. And constantly remind yourself of that. Okay. Then you'll not look for anybody else. It's not that if you watch motivational videos on YouTube and all, it is bad. No, you can watch it. That's all right. But sir, when you watch those motivational videos and all, no, like here only, I'm making one over here. Okay. Maybe one day you'll be motivated. 1 week you'll be motivated. After that, what will happen? Again, it will be back to the square one. Then again, you look for something else. But rather, if you look for these things within yourself, it always stays with you. You are not dependent on anybody else. Automatically, you are on the 5th gear. The things will keep on going. Okay, so look for that. That's what I personally believed in, and that's what I follow in my life as well. If it's workable, if you feel this connects with you, you can do it. Not that watching somebody else's motivation is wrong, and that's not the point I'm trying to say. Okay, the best way is, according to me, is this. Okay, and always remember, sir. Okay, like you only think on yourself. Now, if I ask you to watch, like have you seen like major? Some of them will say, sir, I binged watched that Game of Thrones. I binged watched this series. 10 hours, 12 hours, sir. They can sit and watch one serial. Some web series, okay, you can watch. All of us can watch, not just you. Everybody can watch. That time will you say it is boring? No, right? If you go for shopping for whole day, whole weekend, some of them do, right? Is it boring? No. If you're playing some sports, if you're watching Instagram for 10 hours a day, you don't believe that you're watching? Go in your app, there is in your settings, there is something called digital well-being. I don't know, I think many of you are not aware of this also, okay? In your phone, there is a thing, when you go into settings or app notifications, I don't know, something that is called digital well-being. That will show for each app how much time you're spending. I'm pretty sure the time will be more than 6 to 7 hours. That much time you're spending on app. Okay, quite easily, because when we are watching the Instagram or YouTube and all, it may feel like I'm watching 15 minutes. It's not really so. If you want, just check. You can read your analyze your own data daily, weekly, every data it will give. Okay, it is there on our phone. Just that many of us don't check it. Many of them don't bother about it because that information scares us. Okay, you should be aware of it. That way you will get to know if. So social media is a wonderful thing. I'm not blaming it. But most of us are addicts. We have to accept it. Okay, because see, half an hour, no, if you only do this check, half an hour, keep your phone away from wherever it is, or give it off to your parents, or give it off to your friend. Okay, don't use your phone for half an hour or 1 hour. See if you can able to sustain it. Like this, half an hour, 1 hour, half a day, if you see. Or if you don't want to do anything, okay, if you don't want to give it to anybody, no problem. Put it on airplane mode for half a day and see if you can survive. Most of us can't. That fidgety will come. Something is missing. That means what? We are addicted to it. We should accept that fact. Okay. So using something for the fun sake is okay, but getting addicted to it is wrong. People say drug is an addiction. Caffeine, like cigarette is an addiction. Smoking is addiction. Yes, all those are addiction. Even mobile is an addiction. Too much of anything is an addiction, sir. Food is also an addiction. If you eat too much, it's an addiction. Everything is an addiction. Whatever it is, we need to call it. And because only when you call it, you can address it and improve it. Okay. So yes, the point I was trying to make is minimize those usages and all. So if you can use that phone for 10 hours, 12 hours a day and then say you don't need any motivation for that. But to study 10 hours a day, 12 hours a day, you need motivation. Question yourself. No? Have you thought about those lines? Right? No. Start thinking automatically. Your mind will also. Because in our mind, no, studies, we have associated one thought. Studies means boring activity. That is one thought we have already assigned. Watching movies, watching web series, Instagram or YouTube or shopping or sports, all these are good activities, wonderful activities. So this is the happy side allocation we have done. That is the sad side allocation we have done. So now you have to think and slowly move this sad side to the happier side, or at least to the neutral side. That way your mind will also slowly get adapted to it. Initially it may be a little difficult. Now I may say you study for 10 hours a day, 12 hours a day. First time when you take a study break and try to sit for that many hours, it may be extremely difficult. Maybe you can study only for 1 hour, 2 hours. After that, you feel like, what is this and all? That lethargy or wanting to get out will always come. No problem. Start slow. If you are able to study only for 4 hours a day, no problem. Not a big deal. Leave it. It's okay. It happens. You slowly increase it. Okay. From 4 hours, make it to 5, 5 to 6, 6 to 7, like this. Okay. At one stretch, ideally, I would suggest in one sitting without taking a break, ideally you should sit at least for 3.5 hours. So why 3.5 hours? Your exam duration is for 3 hours. In exam, you have to sit in one duration and attempt full paper. If that you have to do for 3 hours means you should train your mind from the day one saying at least 3 hours, 3.5 hours, I should be able to sit before without taking one break. Okay, that is the ideal scenario. But that will happen with practice. On the day one, if you start, that may not happen, or it may happen to few people. To majority of them, it may not happen. That's all right. But keep that as a goal and start working towards it. And sitting does not mean just sitting like this and watching. Studying also consciously. Yes. So take away of your phone a little bit, etc. That at least during that study time, at least ignore all this. Ignore whatever is a distraction. Maybe a girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever. Okay, I'm not saying girlfriend, boyfriend is wrong, right? Some of them I've seen, right? They collaborate and they study together in their past. I've seen my friends also, right? They've studied together in their past. That's a good thing. But for many of us, it's a distraction, right? If it is a distraction for you, then don't engage in that activities for some time. Let your exam pass because this is your career. You have taken one of the reputed courses. Be aware of that. Institute also wants only those people who are ready to put in efforts, them to qualify. If every Tom, Dick and Harry who takes up this course and if he becomes chartered accountant, then CAs will lose the value in the market, right? That's the reason the pass percentage is on the tougher side. You know the All India pass percentage. I don't have to tell you, right? It ranges between 10 to 15 on an average, right? 15 is on the higher side probably, yes. Till date, when we used to study and all, it was in single digits. 8 to 9% was a norm generally when we used to study. Now it's slowly improved because number of students who have taken up the CA course has drastically increased. So percentage also, there is a good spike, yes. But still, so only 15% pass me does not mean 85% of them will never clear CA. No, in the first attempt, maybe they will not be able to clear it. Later on, they will clear it in second attempt, third attempt. Okay. But the moment we share this percentage, 10-15%, many people will freak out. They'll think only 15% pass. That means 85% fail. Mine gone only. Okay. Sir, why can't you think like this? When I give you this data, majority of them put themselves in that 85% wala category. They automatically think that they belong to 85% wala category. My friend secured 90% in 11th, 12th. He only did not pass. Will I pass? Sir, your 10th to 12th marks cards and all are irrelevant for CA. Okay. I have my own friends who have got basic marks in 10th and 12th. Okay. Who have cleared everything in first attempt. That is irrelevant. Whatever you have scored earlier, that is history. History and all, don't worry about it. Okay. In case of CA examination, history never repeats. That is movie dialogue. Okay. Don't bring it in here. So that is irrelevant. Okay. Concentrate on the things that you have in mind. It will happen. Okay. So don't ignore all that facts. So you just know what is required. Definitely things will work out. Okay. So yes, that was one point I would like to make it, and do believe in yourself. And again, coming back to this one, in fact, so instead of putting yourself in that 85% wala category, put yourself in that 15% wala category. Okay, you think that I will be in that 15% category. I will put in efforts. I will believe in myself. I'll keep my attitude in such a way that, and I'll make sure that I belong to that 15% wala category. I will pass this examination. Like this, if you enforce this positive thoughts, automatically it will pay off. Okay, so not just positivity. This positivity has to be backed by efforts also. Smartness, efforts is also required. Target along this and have this confidence. You will. Okay, I always say this dialogue in my classes. I don't know whether you remember it or maybe this time I've not used it. Right? From kindergarten, sir. From kindergarten, first standard, second standard. Any exam have you failed? From kindergarten, first standard, second standard. Any exam have you failed? No. Then why should you fail CA examination? Why you want to change that? Right? Consistency. We are accountants, which we believe in consistency, right? So maintain this consistency in CA examination also. Keep this as an attitude. It will pay off. Okay? Believe in yourself. Nobody, many of 101 people may say, we see this in common things also. An average student takes up CA, he'll be moved a lot. Okay? Like what this guy will do. He was full chilling out. 7th and all, he failed. 10th, he got average marks. Only passing marks he got. Now he wants to do CA and thing. Okay? He'll pakka fail. Like this, many of your relatives, friends, may kind of put you down. Don't bother. It's not them. It's your degree. You want to acquire that magical alphabets called CA. Okay. So you put in efforts. Okay. Now people who are kind of pulling you down, later they'll only clap for you. That is the reality in life. Okay. When you are putting the efforts, people will look down upon you. They'll say it is impossible and all that. When you achieve it, they'll say, wow, amazing. Like that. The same people who will put you down, they'll be the first one to clap. That's a reality in life for everything. Okay. So it is possible. Believe in yourself. Okay. Yes. So this is it. So next time, when we are talking, my wish and my blessing is that I see you not as a CA student, but I would like to see you as a CA fraternity member or as a member of the CA Institute. Okay. So I hope that that day comes sooner in your life. So these are the few things that I thought I'll share with you. Okay. If you feel these sort of things connected with you, try to implement it in your life. Okay. And thank you for your lovely attention. I know that it's been more than 3 months now, 3.5 months roughly we spent to complete the syllabus. So you've been a wonderful audience. Though it was a live online session, You kept the class engaging, than me engaging it. You were engaging by asking doubts, by interacting, etc., etc. So it was wonderful. I learned a few things from you, and hopefully you also learned a few things from me as well. Okay, so I've tried my best. Hopefully whatever little knowledge I had, I was able to impart it to you, and our classes were helpful to you. If you feel our classes were helpful, place a review of our classes on the ArivuPro platform, because we have come into this profession not to just make money. Yes, money is important. I'm not denying that. We live in a society where everything we need money. So we can't disregard its importance. But no, we are not come here for money. If personally, if I have to say, if I quit this teaching now, if I go into probably industry or something else, I'll make a lot more money. Okay, that is the reality. Yes, but still, like, if I feel that I'm able to do a contribution to someone's life, if someone says that no, because of your classes, it helped me in my clearing classes. But at the end of the day, I feel to clear the examination, student has to put in the effort. Teacher can only do so much. Student only has to write the examination, study and pass. So passing is more student driven activity. A teacher cannot do much there. So ideally, teacher should not take credit for it. But it feels nice when someone says that your methods, teachings, resources, books, chart books or whatever help you. So it feels nice. So that's the reason there are many students, majorly of you are online, so we're not able to meet face to face. So when I read your comments that this helps, that helps, no, it kind of motivates us. It makes us feel good, and it motivates us to do even better in the next batch. Okay, so that way, if possible, try to review our classes. Okay, so I'll throw open the floor now. So if you want to say anything or if you want to type anything, you can do so. I've given you that. You can speak up. You can unmute yourself and speak up if you want. If you want, otherwise you can type in. That's your call. Any thoughts from your end? Going to miss the daily vibe? No worries. Don't worry. That will always be there. Yeah? Be motivated enough. That's good. You can automatically study at that point of time. So that means that the vibe will be automatically taken care of. Thanks a lot for patiently clarifying each and every doubt. Awesome, Macha. Thank you. Sir, I had a great learning. Understood all the concepts. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for your wonderful comments, guys. Anything else? CA final classes with respect to other subjects, I'll talk about it. Recorded classes are available. Live online, I'll talk about it. Faculty, based on their schedules, we may start something. We'll see. Yeah. For now, I think FR is the only one that is going live. I'll speak to the other faculties and see if they have the schedule to take one. We will do it. Costing, though, definitely is not there. CA final costing is anyway eliminated from our syllabus. Tax, yes. Direct tax and indirect tax, we'll see. Okay, thank you, people. Amazing. Okay, is there anything else, or can we wind up for the day, people? Made FR lighter. Oh, awesome. Thank you. Never seen any faculty write each and every right answer. That's okay. I've tried my best. Glad that it helped you. Thank you. Awesome, people. Lovely audience. So see you soon as a CA. Looking forward to that particular day where you send me, either meet me and tell that I'm a CA now, or at least you send me somewhere through some medium. I get to know that ultimately you have become a chartered accountant, because the goal of all this was to reach there. Okay. Again, wish you all the very best. Take care. Stay safe. See you. Bye-bye.